Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. Sid, we watched the Baylor game. It was rough. We're going to talk about it. But first, if you are new to this channel, this is your first time seeing us, please consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. We are an independent channel. Sid and I love the Hogs. We love talking about the Hogs. We put a lot of time and energy into creating these podcasts. We ain't complaining. It's just, it takes a lot of energy to do this, and it really does help whenever we get more subscribers, comments, and likes on the video. Makes us feel good, makes us excited to make more content. That being said, we're going to head into the conversation. Sid, Baylor, Arkansas, what were you expecting? And what was the difference between what you were expecting and the result? And how are you feeling about the result?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before last Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Confidence was going to be what I wanted to see um, or win the game to build confidence for early in the season, and especially against like when we get opportunity to play a Baylor team or even
Yeah.
the exhibition when we get opportunity to play Gonzaga, even though it was exhibition.
Yeah.
These are opportunities to play good teams that you're going to play later in the season. And so this is the time to kind of see how you gel against them. Now
Oh,
we get
Baylor and Gonzaga was not an exhibition. That was a real
no
game.
Baylor was, but the Gonzaga wasn't.
When they played Gonzaga, when Baylor played Gonzaga,
No. I'm
or
talking about when Arkansas or not Gonzaga
Kansas,
playing Kansas and then after that it was um
uh, uh, TCU.
TCU. Same yeah, I meant TCU, but same thing. I think TCU wasn't the season game. It was an exhibition game, but
Yeah, it was an
still,
exhibition. Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, exactly. Like, I think from this game, I just didn't see that happen. I didn't see them play well together,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I wanted to see. And I now I'm on the opposite end where it's gonna take time for them to kind of build that confidence against these
Yeah.
smaller teams, and we still have that opportunity. We talked about it's not oh, you lost to Baylor, your season's over, which some
Yeah.
Kentucky fans might think so. I
Yeah,
know
they
you've seen
do.
the comments where they're just like making fun of Calipari, making fun of Razorback fans for
Have you
losing.
seen the
What?
headlines going around? I'm never trusting Coach Cal again. I'm
Yeah,
never.
I I
How,
I think it's
oh
a lot
man,
of
Coach Cal got out coached by Scott Drew. Oh, Coach Cal has not changed. Coach Calipari has fooled us again. He's not going to be successful. This, that, and the other. I was like, oh my god, this is a
yeah,
week 1 game.
and it was a lot of. I mean, I just saw a lot of Kentucky fans just being in the comments more so than some Arkansas fans. Honestly, been being just like um so happy and overjoyed. And again,
Yeah. Though I told you
um,
so's and that this and
yeah,
that.
and so it's again first game like true game, and I think we got a long season ahead, and I just hope that they're able to kind of turn it around. And we'll go more into deeper analysis of into each players and whatnot, but overall, this team has a long way to go in building that confidence and kind
Yeah.
of working together to on offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball, just kind of to gel together. And we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually I was hopeful of a win, but to be honest, I didn't really expect us to win. I've known that John Calipari teams, they take a little while to get started. I have a buddy who's actually a Kentucky fan, and he's actually a Coach Cal fan too, though. So he's actually rooting for Arkansas because he likes Coach Cal and he thought that it was stupid that Kentucky fans wanted him out. But um, I would always do early season bets with him in the Kansas game because Kansas would always beat him. the Coach Cal teams start out slower, and it's just it he he does a different approach on things that they work on throughout the season that just it takes time, and he wants to put them in positions with like uncomfortable positions and see how they react so that he can figure out what piece where this piece goes on the board. And um I kind of wanted to see that. The other thing is injuries. It is obvious that Jonas Adu is not anywhere near 100%. And without a solid big man like that, it really limits what you can do, and it makes a zone very effective. Nelly Davis. Nelly Davis, not too long ago, got out of a cast on his hand. So give him some time. Let's chill out, everybody, and saying Nelly Davis isn't who we thought he was. Da 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 da. Give it some time. We'll see. Apparently, Nelly Davis works really hard. He's one of the hardest workers on the team. He gets after it. So we'll see about that. So getting to the Jonas Adu thing, that's also a thing that concerns me, is the depth at the forward position. Um, we are very thin at forward. If Adu goes out, well, we saw how much of a difference this team is when you don't have a strong big. If Brazil gets, if he gets banged up, Big Z, if he gets banged up, we are very thin at the forward position, which concerns me a little bit. Hopefully, for the most of the season, that area is healthy, and it's healthy going into March. But I guess to just close it out, I'm not too surprised what had happened. There were some things that I'm like you. This is going to be a long. This is going to be a long road. We're not going to see a bunch of improvement super quickly. It's going to happen gradually over time. And the best way to measure this team is what do they look like in January, February, and March. I think that's whenever you really will have an idea, is this team legit or not?
Yeah, no, that's fair completely. And we have time until then to kind of play in
Mm-hmm.
these games to kind of figure out what everyone good at, how to pass around the ball well, how to kind of set zones and kind of move the ball around as a team instead of
Yep.
playing hero ball.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always obviously going to be opportunities to do that against the smaller teams, but I think just not playing hero ball is going to make us win those games in January and February and March.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see if they're able to kind of figure that out by then. And
I think for the most part, they do seem to pass the ball a lot, and they do seem to share it. Boogie Fland a couple times seems to take 3-pointers that are unnecessary. Um, but we'll see how that goes throughout the rest of this year. Thiero, man, or Thero, Adu Thiero, he is good. He may be one of my favorite players on the team to watch moving forward. He is a jumping jack out there. He was the leading scorer. He hustles hard, man, and he's one of those guys that can help the forwards on defense. Go on in there. If there's a guy who's a little too physical for Big Z, you put Thero on him, and Thero not he locks him down. You know,
mhm,
so a lot of optimism on this team. I do think that it is like Sid said. I think it's just going to take some time. Now the goal needs to be make sure you don't drop any of these mid-major games. So let's keep winning the mid-major games. Let's beat Troy, and let's beat teams similar to Troy and Lipscomb, and then let's go and play Illinois hard around Thanksgiving. I think it's actually on
mhm,
Thanksgiving Day. Play Illinois hard. Do your best to get a W in that situation. Continue winning your mid majors, going into SEC play where, you just continually get a step better, 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 better,
mhm.
and get healthy.
Yeah, and Also, I had seen Coach Cal talk about this after the Lipscomb game, where
Hmm.
he's talking about our 3-pointers, right? How we need to get better at them and kind of not just shoot threes just to shoot threes and throw them up.
Right.
How to make open plays, and at that point, we should be making those threes. And if we're not, that's when he said they need to get to the gym and kind of work on those.
Hmm.
So with these games that you said are coming up, that's going to be what I'm going to be looking at to see if they
Right.
do make those adjustments and are able to make those threes, or
That's
if
a
they're
good
just kind
point.
of jacking up threes too. Because they can get away with that at this point in the season, but if they're able
Right.
to get open threes and kind of by moving the ball around and then making them, it's just gonna make them look more confident and look better and kind of which it shouldn't be any close games if that happens, honestly. And so that's what I'm going to be looking at in
Hmm.
next few weeks.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Keep an eye on the things that he's saying need to be fixed and see if they're actually getting fixed.
Hmm.
The other thing that was interesting about this game is it felt like Baylor was up by more than they were. And that's interesting that when it feels like the other team is dominating and you're still right there, that kind of says a lot about your team that this team isn't going to get dominated. They're going to be right there with these good teams and always be in a position to get back into the game, you know.
Hmm.
And so that was good to see that this team, they were still right there. And it never got to the point where Baylor could really pull away when Baylor had plenty of opportunities to really pull this thing and, blow it wide open. But Arkansas stood in there and they kept breaking the lead and they kept coming back. They kept coming back. And then eventually Baylor did pull away. But at times it felt like that Baylor really should have been more ahead than they were. So,
Yeah. No, I mean turnovers. Where I honestly we're decent at creating them, and where I hope we continue getting
hmm,
better at them. But causing them also as was
yeah,
an issue in this game, and so the 11 turnovers that we had, I saw not great. But I think that the reason why we were also in it on the opposite spectrum was because they had about 8 turnovers. So um, I think it's a matter of kind of working on defense, getting steals, but kind of offensively not be careless with the ball, um, move methodically and pass the ball around well, and make easy plays.
yep. Well, I'm excited to see what happens. You know, I think that there were some good takeaways from that game. I know it sucks to lose or whatnot, and it was kind of like, dang, I wish we would have got that one. But I do see some good things in this team, and I think that this team does have a lot of potential. So we'll
Yeah,
just
no, for
we'll
sure.
just have to keep an eye on them.
Is Baylor but 1-1 too?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw actually.
Gonzaga blew them out.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's I think why you got all confused with
Yeah, yeah,
Gonzaga
yeah,
at
yeah,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They blew him out in the first game, and so we got a really upset Baylor team. We got a Baylor team that was embarrassed and upset, and
Hmm.
they came out swinging after that. So I guess with that being said, are you ready to close this one out, or anything else you want to add?
No, I think we'll just keep talking about the Razorbacks as the games go on. Obviously, it won't be after every game, but we'll kind of
Mm-hmm.
see and
We'll
play
do
out
week
to
to
see
week.
if they're improving, if we're seeing the changes Cal is talking about, changes
Mm-hmm.
that we're seeing
Yep.
that need to be made or happening or not.
Are improvements being made? Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's about it.
All right. Well, we're going to head out of here then. If you guys made it this far, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment down below your thoughts on what Coach Cal and the Hogs are going to do. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.